In this video, I'm going to share with you some creative techniques that help you out AI. I'm not a fan of using AI in my own artwork. I've talked about it before. It can be a tool, but it really is the artist that is the person that is the visionary. In this video, I'm going to just share with you some good old-fashioned digital techniques that you can use to expand your creativity and give you some food for thought. Just again, another technique. If you want more of this type of stuff, let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So this piece is something that I worked on yesterday. It started out really with this kind of weird looking arm. And I want to show you where I got that idea from before I started doing all the other development work. And it really came from a photo that I took of my desk setup. So if I were to look at this right here, you can see that structure was developed or taken from a sketch that I drew of my microphone stand. It looked interesting. It had a lot of unusual shapes. It has some really good rhythm. We have some scale. We have angles, and we have just a lot of different visually interesting things. It's not just like a flat circle or a flat square. It has some stuff going on with it. It has some movement is what I would like to say. And I used that to go ahead and create this particular mechanical arm. I repeated the arm. I also used the transform scale to go ahead and get it to look like this. It had this really unusual pattern, and that became the basis for this particular illustration. Later on, like this morning when I was preparing this video, this is like take number 4, I came up with another spot that I thought was kind of interesting in that same photo, and that's this area right here. And I drew that and developed that into 2 different environments. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. How you can take everyday objects that you have around your house and use them in very creative ways to create things that you probably didn't think you could create. Number one comment that I get from students and other peers is that environments are hard, they're difficult to draw, and most folks tend to avoid them because there's a perceived sense of you have to really understand perspective super well, you have to be very technically adept. And while those things are true to some extent, I think there's way more to it than just technical skills. It's really about your creativity. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to walk you through what I did here and share with you my thought process. So I'm going to focus on developing what this is, and I'm going to draw it. I'm actually going to go ahead and break this down into good old-fashioned volumetric shapes. I'm not worried about being super precise in terms of making a spitting copy of this. But I also like this because this has a lot of interesting shapes. There's a variety of shapes. And that's what I'm looking at here. So I have some type of an enclosed object that looks something like this, give or take, right? I'm not going to include the wires in here. Let's go ahead and hide our reference photo now. And I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer. I'm going to move the layer underneath my drawing. I'll use my magic wand tool, and I'm going to select everything outside of the shape. Then I'm going to inverse the selection by hitting Shift-Command-I, and I'm going to fill that in with white. And what I've done is now I've got not only the outline of this sketch, but I also have a fill. It's like got some color on the inside. And so what I can do now is I can merge these 2 objects together. So I've got this really interesting shape with a fill. And the reason why I added the fill is because I'm going to be transforming and modifying this shape and repeating it. So by having everything filled in on the inside, it just allows me to see the object without the lines kind of running into each other. I'll show you what I mean. So I'll start off by hitting the transform tool. I'll move the pivot point for the transform tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and this is going to be my starting shape. I'm just going to move it down all the way to the bottom. I'm going to hit Command J, Command T. I'm going to move the pivot point somewhere to the center. I'm going to rotate this guy out, and I'm going to also scale him up like so. And I'm going to hit Shift Option Command T. And so now I've got this repeating structure that goes off the canvas. I'll just merge all of these things in. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the scale so I can see what I'm working with. So pretty interesting, unusual shape. What can I do with this? Well, I can go ahead and make a copy of it. I can flip it horizontally. Merge those two layers together. And then hit Command J. Make a copy of it. I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to right click and choose Flip Horizontally. Hit Command J. Bring it in. And I'm just going to rinse and repeat that process here. And what you're seeing now is I've got this very interesting and unusual looking shape that I could use as maybe the exterior for a mechanical world. And there's a lot of density here. There's a lot of details. Let's go ahead and convert all of this to one value. I'm going to Command click on the thumbnail, make a new layer, and I'll just use black. I'll hit Option Delete. So we can see that we have some really interesting one-point perspective. It looks like there's a series of mechanical structures and our eyes are kind of moving into this particular area here. So we can develop that further. We can go ahead and say add some type of a path. I can fill some of these areas in. And I can add a little bit of variation so it doesn't look so mechanical and repetitive. With the polygon lasso tool, I'm simply going to change up some of these shapes. And I can add some vegetation. I'm using my Obelix inker here. I'll add some wires. And then for this space right here, I can turn this into a road. I can turn it into some kind of a stream. I want to add a little bit of variation to it, so I'll just actually add a bank here. Maybe I'll put some rocks there just to kind of break it up. Maybe it's like molten lava. So I'll just have a few lines that kind of indicate the direction of movement of this, whatever this is, lava. So now I've got something that looks somewhat interesting. So you can use your scale, your transform, and your flip to create very interesting, unusual environments. This is just kind of a way of broaching this conversation. If you're struggling with drawing environments, this can be a great way to kind of break out of that, whatever rut you might be feeling when you're drawing environments. The name of the game is most of these structures here, especially if it's dealing with like some kind of a civilization or man-made something or other, usually have repeating shapes. You also have scale, and you can just see how much density I've created here. Now, I could draw all of this stuff out, but this is so much faster to use shapes. The language of shapes is incredibly powerful. So if you found some value in this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up so more folks can find it. If you have any comments that you want to add, feel free to drop those down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.